If it wasn't for agricultural, I would not be where I am with welding. I confidently can say that.
Few things connect people faster than food. For me, it's the stories of the people behind the food that hit deepest. Their family legacies, how they made it through the tough times, and how they celebrate the good times. I'm Ryan Armstrong, and this podcast will give you a face behind the food. It uncovers the honest and proud stories of the fascinating yet little known sectors of the agriculture industry. Welcome to Barnstrong.
Will Gregg.
Strong arm.
Main Street Eatery.
My favorite place.
Yeah.
In Brooksville. Sorry, Blair.
So this is episode 4.
I made it that early.
You did. So we are in Brooksville at the Main Street Eatery. Huge thanks to Peggy for letting us borrow the place.
Shout out Main Street Eatery. Thank you, Peggy.
Yes, if you're in town, stop by. It's a great place. Been around for
sandwiches, custom soups, homemade cobblers.
Right across the corner from the Hernando County Courthouse. So, what do you got going on right now? Where are you staying? What you doing?
I live on an older friend's farm in North Brooksville. It's real quiet and slow pace. I like it. I work on the road. I'm a boiler maker, tube welder, pipe welder in general. It's just been a slow summer because it's dead for the boilers. No shutdowns at the moment. Literally just finished a welding project at the house.
But what have you been doing on the farm? So you do a lot of work for the owner, right? So he's
just land maintenance. Yeah. We're getting set back up for cattle at the moment. We haven't had any in quite a while. I was on the road for a good long time, and the property got overgrown, and he sold the cattle to all auctions. So we're about to re-up on all that. So, need to get a chicken coop going too.
There you go.
It's pretty decrepit in the back of the property right now.
Yeah, well, you're keeping it going though, right? I mean, if it wasn't for you,
slowly.
It'd be kind of, yeah. Oh, that's good. So, how long have you been out there?
Since early 2021.
21. Okay. You were doing farm work before that, or no? I think so.
No. I was living on another friend's ranch just down the street. Yeah. I would help him with welding stuff, but
yeah,
I was always, Stardust Ranch. Yep. Shout out Colby and Marcy.
So tell us more about, I mean, obviously welding is a huge component of equipment, infrastructure in general, but for heavy equipment and farming in general. So just kind of give us a glimpse into, you told us what aspects of welding you're doing. So just kind of give us a glimpse into welding life for anybody who's not.
I'm not a farm welder. I live on the road during seasons, depending on what season it is, boiler mainly. It's a lot of hotels, moving the camper across state lines.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what is a boiler? Because I'm still learning this from you, but it's a
boiler is a power plant. It's the fossil fuel the other side is trying to do away with all this lithium stuff. But little do they know that they need our coal burning plants.
But so the infrastructure wise, like it's a maze of pipes up and down all through the power plant, and there's different compartments.
When a pipe is inside a boiler itself, it's essentially a big radiator.
Okay.
It's got a cooling tower. It cycles. It just keeps the inside not as hot. When a pipe is under extreme pressure, it is a tube. It's not a pipe. So all the pipes in a boiler are tubes. There are pipe that come in and meet it, but they're not under pressure like the boiler itself.
And so when we always talk on the phone, you're saying you're going there for shutdowns. What's a shutdown? Is it like a maintenance period, downtime for a plant, or
the actual term is an outage?
Outage. Okay.
The power plant schedules a regular maintenance to turn off everything, cool it down, open doors, so it gets cool enough for us to go inside and start repairing it. Shutdown season, baby.
How long is so? Tell us a little bit more about the outages and what those are like. Time frame. How long are you there? Is it
It's contract work. So the power plant wants to get back online ASAP. So it's 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, whether you're on nights or days. Past years only been on nights. So it's a little bit more slow pace, less white hats.
Those are
So
the
that's
bosses.
nice. Yeah,
So I wanted to get you on here because we've been friends for a long time, since high school.
long time.
But it's kind of funny how you're kind of getting pulled into agriculture now. I mean, obviously you'd come over to the family farm and hang out with Ben and the family from time to time and go fishing in the ponds. But, I think it's important for us to talk about how integral welding is to power plants, and a big push in agriculture, especially in the Southeast with center pivot irrigation, but in other places too, obviously, with agriculture, is the push to switch, like you mentioned, from fossil fuels to electricity. So your work on the outages is directly tied to
Power grid.
the power grid,
If
which
we don't-
powers.
If we don't do our,
Yep.
y'all do not have electricity. And a lot of us in the industry are a huge motivating factor is the fact that we supply power, lights, hot water to everybody in that immediate area, hundreds of thousands of people at times.
I just wanted to bring that up and kind of get you on here so you could share your side of it, and I can learn a little bit more about it with everybody else too. But it's important. I think there's probably, the last data I found was around 150,000 center pivot irrigation systems that run on electricity. So there's not any data on acreage or what that is, but I'm sure it's a pretty large amount.
Yeah,
it
sounds massive.
It's close to, I think, 1% of all the electric used in the United States, which
For agriculture.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's like
1% sounds like a low number, but that's a
for the amount of energy that's getting used up every day. Absolutely.
I've been learning from you about the new technologies coming into the farming and the agricultural industry. Blows my mind. Some of the misters and the sprayers and even the large round balers.
Yeah, Fint has some really cool equipment with the Fint.
That's
yes,
who you were
the
just telling
German
me about.
engineering. Yep. There's some farmers in Georgia that are switching to that. I haven't seen many in Florida. That doesn't mean they're not here, but I know there was a good amount that have switched in Georgia.
Everybody here still John Deere happy.
Yeah. Well, the Fent has. I'm probably the Fent salesman's probably not going to be happy about this, but I'm not him. But they have these pulsing sprayers that allow them to spray in higher wind speeds, which is an advantage that they have over other equipment. The fuel efficiency is better. But yeah, to your point, there's a lot of innovations, and that again ties right back into electricity and energy and those type of things that are coming from the power grid. So yeah, tell us more about your influence from agriculture growing up. So you were kind of, I don't want to say removed from it because you're in Brooksville, so it's a pretty rural area growing up. But
I would say I was put back into it.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Brevard County, Cocoa, Florida, until I was 13. Literally the next day after I turned 13, I had moved over here and started learning my roots from my dad's side. My grandfather came home from World War II and managed a large portion of Florida's orange grove and cattle for Norris Cattle Company.
Okay.
The Stardust North End, one of the ranches was 1,300 acres, I think my dad said. It touched just on the other side of the highway from Stardust.
Okay.
So, and I lived that close to where my dad grew up busting hump under my strict grandfather.
So did he manage cattle too in citrus?
My dad?
No, your grandfather.
Yeah.
Both. And he did that his whole life?
I don't know about pre-war.
Pre-war?
I honestly don't. But after that they had ranches all over the state, hundreds of thousands of acres over where the St. Johns River ran through it. Over on the East Coast, one of them, I think that was the largest one. It's still there today. I don't believe the Norris Cattle Company owns it anymore.
Right.
They might actually, I don't know.
There's big ranches over there.
Massive piece of property. You wouldn't even realize it's a ranch. It just looks like open land.
Yeah, that's a funny thing about Florida is that people don't associate us with cattle.
Not at all. I've moved all over the country, and everybody just thinks I live at the beach 24/7.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's the springs and cow fields.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some very large ranches. Florida crackers. A lot of people don't know about that. It's a very old history. First cowboys, first cows, Ponce de Leon from Florida.
Oh, I forgot about Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, they have. I'm not sure how big the herd is. I know it got pretty small, but they had kept a visit. I went on a visit up in Tallahassee at the FDAC Center, Carlton Center, and they talked to us about the cracker cattle and the heritage and the lineage of it. And they have, I believe, I didn't know it until we actually went to that visit, but they have an auction here each year of the calves
in Hernando County,
in Brooksville, at the fairgrounds. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought that was really cool that they still have that. And from what I understand, this was a few years ago, but they're, the herd's still growing and people are getting more interest in it. So it's pretty cool that that's staying alive, keeping that going.
I mean, Blair, I don't want to go too much on him while we're at Main Street, but he's just being at his establishments. Mm-hmm. There's TVs with background on Florida.
Yep.
In areas that even somebody like us from being from Florida didn't even know it was about. So
yep. Yeah.
There's a lot of agricultural and a lot of open land here.
And what Will's talking about is the Florida Cracker Kitchen, and it's a good place to eat, but it's also it's just the memorabilia and the nostalgia and the things that are in there on the walls. I know I donated, gave him a Tropicana fruit study sign when I was working for him, so I know one of those are hanging up in there. But there's really cool stuff. I mean, there's old pictures from back when the Likes brothers were, all those people were running around Hernando County.
Mm-hmm.
All the different families, but it's
Your
a really
family.
Yeah. There are several from our family. Yep.
It's funny how we all literally grew up in a tight knit group of all the big last names around here. Fun.
Yeah.
Get away with some stuff.
I feel like that's any small town though.
Yeah.
But I think to be fair though, that's everybody knows your business in a small town, and if you think that they don't, you're mistaken. What inspired you to get into welding? Let's dig a little deeper on that.
Honestly, nothing. It just fell into my lap.
Yeah.
I was living in Denver, Colorado, literally just Uber driving so I could snowboard. That's all I wanted to do. And I had a buddy that I went to high school with, one of the Harveys.
Okay.
Called me and was like, dude, you're a hard worker. Come to Texas. Come work for me. You'll make great money. I was at a pivot point in life at that moment, so I made the decision to move to Texas to go do this, and literally the day before I was moving, he called me and said the entire job site got laid off, and they were all going home to Florida. So, not being able to get back into my condo, I just headed home to Florida. Talked to my dad, had dinner with my parents, and my dad mentioned going to welding school, and 30 years old, I was like, I'm not going back to school. Well, I applied for a bunch of them in a late technical college in Eustis, called me back, and ironically gave me a full ride. Couldn't say no at that point.
Right.
Ended up loving it. Had a blast.
Yeah, you even did like some teaching. You went back after you had a little bit of experience, right? You went back to the school.
I mean, they asked all the past good welders that come through to come back and help the newbies, the young kids. Mm. It definitely gives them confidence when you can do it in class, but when somebody from the field comes in and says, it looks good, dude, you're doing a good job, it solidifies with yourself.
For sure.
The ultimate confidence was achieved. And I had the same thing happen to me. I'm still friends with Nigel to this day. He didn't know he was going to weld with me that day, but he ended up in a booth with me.
Yeah, I think it's the more we sit here and talk about this, it's, I'm sure there are a lot of people listening to this that are farmers or farm hands that they weld or they had to learn.
And they probably got butt hurt by what I said.
Well, no, I don't mean like that. I mean, as in, they had to learn it by necessity, and they do it. They do it every day. So to them, thinking about welding as being, it's not something that they would think about sharing with other people. Like it's just something they do every day, all the time.
And they also aren't open to being taught. You either learn the correct way or you learn out of necessity, like you were saying.
Right.
And the sides kind of collide.
Yeah.
They're welding, but.
I mean, the only time I ever welded was in Granddaddy's shed, and he was like, "Come out here and hold this," and that's how I learned whether it was the right way or not. But you know what I mean?
Stick welding.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. See, I can't.
It was a long time ago.
People in the industry can't stand these Harbor Freight MIG welders that have a flux core wire, but there's no gas. It's just like a hot glue gun.
So what is the difference there? So it's gas versus electric kind of thing? Is that what you mean?
No, inert gas to rid the air of oxygen, so the metal bonds correctly.
Okay.
Because you can't have oxygen in your weld, otherwise you get porosity, which is a bunch of little pinholes, and it's a contamination to the weld.
Yeah, so you don't get the smooth bead, right? So welding, like do elementary for welding. So you're going to take two, like say you're going to take two, like a square brace, 90-degree angle, two pieces of metal, weld them together, take a grinder to it, smooth it out.
You don't smooth it out. It depends on what welding style you did to make that weld. If it was stick or flux core big, you would need a wire wheel or a chipping hammer to get the flux off of it.
Well, it's pretty labor intense, but a lot of the work's hot, right? Especially when you're in the boilers and stuff.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
Very, very, very hot. I am drenched in sweat all day, every day.
You work 12-hour shifts?
12-hour shifts, 7 days a week.
It's a long week. And they're usually, if I remember right, they're usually like a month, right? For 7, sometimes longer, 7 days a week.
What do you mean?
So like when you go do an outage, I know sometimes.
The duration of the contract?
You can roll up whenever you want.
It can be an emergency of 1 to 2 shifts. It could be a week. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks, a month. I've done 5 months straight in 2020 from February to mid-June, 7/12s with 3 days off. 2 of those, I had the boiler flu.
What is that?
The flu that we all know, times 10.
So
it is.
What is that?
Not fun.
So how do you get it? What is it?
You ingest enough fly ash from the boiler. Usually, that's how I always. Anytime I go in the penthouse, which is the very top, it is. If they didn't clean it out, then you only have to do something quick. Now I should have worn a respirator, but you move too quick for that stuff. It fogs up your glasses. It gets in the way of other equipment. You can't talk. It's dead air in there, so you can't just being 5-10 feet away. We'd have to yell to actually be able to hear because the whole thing's insulated. Horrifically. To keep the unit safe.
That's wild. So what is fly ash? What is that?
Burnt coal.
Burnt coal. Okay. So since you're down this path of welding and you've ended up on the farm, how handy has that become in day-to-day stuff? Not necessarily like just welding, but just like other skills you've learned through welding and being at the job sites. How often do you use that when you're at the farm?
A lot.
Daily?
I wouldn't say daily, but a good amount.
Yeah.
I was never the person to work on the equipment. That was always somebody else's job on any farm or ranch I was on. I was always a laborer, baling hay, using a tractor to plow, mow. I just recently had to start learning how to tear apart a tractor to replace hydraulic lines.
Fun.
I don't like being a wrench monkey, but it's fun to learn.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's tedious to me, so it doesn't grab my attention.
Yeah, same here.
I haven't welded on heavy equipment. Actually, I have at a recycling yard, but it was just the claw that gets picked up.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't consider that the equipment itself, like the actual unit,
Mhm.
the engine and everything.
Yeah.
My welding experience is in structural welding, tube welding, pipe welding.
What's your favorite part about agriculture?
I get to eat.
That's a good answer. I like that.
I love steak.
Yeah. That's a good
I
answer.
love veggies too.
What about people?
I grew up with them, so that's normal to
Yeah.
me. I couldn't imagine a world without ranch hand friends, farming friends,
Right.
even just like the Beasley's farm, where all they do is grow fruits, veggies.
Fraser's corn.
Oh my!
Ooh.
I don't like corn,
Lord have mercy.
but Fraser's corn has crack in it or something. Because it is the best
Yeah.
corn on the cob you will ever have.
Yeah. I don't even know how to put that into words for somebody who has not experienced it.
It doesn't taste like normal corn. It's sweet, but also it's the species of corn they're growing.
Well, I know, but I mean, what does he have? 5 acres of land there?
He's got another piece of property that has another hole.
Okay,
That
makes sense.
That's just.
but he didn't. He
front.
wasn't always that way, right? That
Oh,
was
I don't
pretty
know.
recent. I think that was. Maybe we'll have to
I've actually never been in there.
just go talk to him.
My mom or my girlfriend at the time always got it. I never had to go in there and buy
Yeah,
it.
my dad always got it too. Yeah, bags.
When it's open, everybody's has excess. So
Yeah.
usually I've never had to pay for it. I just get it from friends, parents.
Yeah, for those wondering what we're talking about, there is a local, I call it a corn spot because he's got a place here in town, but Mr. Fraser grows sweet corn and it is
Delicious.
otherworldly. Like I said, I don't know how to explain how good it is, but it is. We like sweet corn in Florida and in the South, but this stuff is next level. So huge thanks to them. That's like a staple.
It is.
growing
I
up.
wanted you to say that. This is your podcast, but yeah, it's an ingrained thing in Brooksville.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So you're spending more time on the farm. So is there things that you're noticing that you didn't notice before, or do you have any different, new appreciations for getting food on your table or steaks on your table?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The grass-fed and non-antibiotic, those ranchers and farmers put a lot more work into everything. And we know a couple that do that, and they never stop working.
Are you a Will Harris fan in that case? White Oak
The
Pastures?
mustache distracted me.
It's new.
This is the first time I'm seeing him with a mustache.
It's fair. It's fair.
Ask your question again.
I said, are you a Will Harris fan? White Oak Pastures?
I don't think I know.
You should check them out.
Where are they located?
I'm probably going to get this wrong.
What are they known for?
Bluffton, Georgia, I believe. If he has transformed agriculture, would be my argument.
Please enlighten me.
Well, I don't know if I can do it justice, but he has done a lot. He's been on Joe Rogan. I think he's been on Joe Rogan once. If I remember correctly, the story is that after World War II, that was when fertilizer salesmen started showing up at the farm. And
I'm pretty sure I've heard that because of you.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before. But yeah, he's changed. I don't know that he's changed.
So he's the one that was the salesman for the fertilizer?
No, he was working on the farm with his family, his dad.
And had a salesman come up to them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so that started the use of fertilizer. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that he's changed things, but he has proven that way of farming, regenerative is doable, profitable. And he's doing a great job, I think. And they do a lot of really other cool stuff too. If you go to their website and check it out, I mean,
What was it? What farm was it?
White Oak Pastures.
White Oak Pastures.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep, they're doing.
I'll have you reminded me of it tomorrow.
Okay. They do educational things with the community, if I'm not mistaken. And I was checking the website out last week. They mentioned something about homeschooling. I think it was his grandson. And they're going to try to get a program going with homeschooling through agriculture and kind of that farm life aspect.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I read it. I mean, I think it's a really new thing. So
Doesn't Blair do something along those lines?
I don't know. Not that I know of, but he definitely wouldn't surprise me if he was. But so back to, things that you're noticing, you're spending more time working in the farm.
Well, we live in Florida. During the summer, everything grows. Until we get these cattle in and these chickens in coming soon, it's just upkeep on the property right now.
Yeah.
I kind of lost on how I would notice.
Well, I think
different.
it's normal to us, but people who live in northern climates, stuff stops growing. It doesn't stop growing here.
Yeah. If you let your yard go or a fence line go 2 weeks, you hate yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be overgrown. You got to reshape it. You got to retrain it to stay down.
Yeah, it's a constant upkeep. So, any questions for me?
How do you like the mustache?
How do I like the mustache?
Yeah, because
I don't know. It's kind of, it's getting a little long now, but everybody that asks me, I say I can't see it, so I don't think about it all the time.
I never thought about it. I can't see mine either.
I can't see it, so it's like I forget that it's there. Do you have any aspirations for the farm, plans for the farm that you're working on? You mentioned chickens and cattle. Anything outside of that, or any more? Have you gone any more in depth past that?
I've rearranged the paddock that I live in. There's more room for a seasonal garden. There's full sunlight.
Garden.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. That'll be fun, dude.
Well, it depends on if I move to North Florida or not.
Yeah.
If I move to North Florida, I'll probably just end up having to come back and properly manage it and help them out with the cows.
Yeah.
But regardless, let's build a garden.
Yeah, I love gardens. Yeah.
I got enough room.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of gardens. So what kind are you guys just going to get? Any kind of cattle? Anything specific?
And I don't know.
No, just
brand, or I don't know.
Specific.
Specifics when it comes to cattle. I've always grown up on ranches and farms minutely, not full time. For some years, yes. A lot no. But my family's always been around orange groves or large pieces of ranch properties. So I love I can't stand living in the suburbia or especially a city. Denver was a great experience. Not for me. Not a city.
I can't say anything. I live in
downtown
Tallahassee. So
a 5-minute drive.
It's a small town. Yeah.
I don't really look at it as a city.
It's definitely different than it is here.
It's just a bigger version of this.
Yeah, but I feel like here, you don't really, when you go 20, 30 minutes north of Tallahassee, I mean, you're in rural.
Nothingness.
Yeah, you're in rural, pretty much Georgia already by then. And here, it's
15 minutes north of where you're at is Georgia state line.
Yeah.
So then the second you hit Georgia, it's agriculture of the whole state.
Yeah, it's fair. So we were talking earlier about grass-fed, antibiotic-free. So what drew you to those consumer preferences?
The fake meat industry is disgusting.
But what about going to the local butcher?
Yeah.
Getting a ribeye?
I'm all about it. It's usually what I do. It's a little more expensive, but it's real meat, good quality, not dyed. And
yeah. So are you going to have a conversation when you go to the butcher about where it came from usually, or are you?
We know the butchers around here.
True.
So I know it's coming from a very close local source.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably ask him.
No, I was just curious. I didn't know if you did.
Have you been in? No, we won't go there.
I have not been there yet.
I've only been there once, but it was quick.
Yeah, I feel like there's been 3 or 4 butcher shops that have started in the past 10 years, but they haven't really done.
Going the grass-fed, non-antibiotic way.
What drew you to that preference? You just wanted something that was, so I'm not saying there's a reason why, but what was it taste? Was it, educational, informational?
It was educational to learn about it, but then once you notice what it is and you've learned about it, you can taste it.
So do you prefer to get it from local butchers, or would you rather?
Absolutely. My family has been getting together once a year and attempting to get everybody to throw in a freshly butchered cow. And
there you go.
My family gets a quarter. My cousin's family gets a quarter. My cousin's mom, my aunt gets a quarter. Usually one of my buddies throws in with us and he takes the other quarter, just so it's not that expensive for everybody.
And that usually cuts the price per pound down a lot. And do you guys usually get preferences on what cut you get? Whatever. It's
so good when it comes fresh from the butcher. I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
But I love ribeyes.
Yeah.
And a good T-bone. All the stuff you used to yap about with Tropicana was, I don't know if I can drop that name right now, but
yeah, you can. Yeah.
I loved hearing your 2 a.m. stories when you're in the Grove.
Yeah, which ones? I don't know. They weren't all. There was a couple times I got stuck out there, but they were late at night, late in the evening. Yeah, getting stalked by panthers.
Yeah, that phone call was
Devil's Garden.
That phone call was interesting.
Yeah,
nervous for me I was living out of state when you called me, and I could hear it in your voice, the panic. And then I was like, well, why are you pulling samples at 3:30 in the morning?
Gotta make the juice, baby. Orange juice. It's the integral part of American breakfast.
I love orange juice. Growing up in Cocoa, my grandfather was still running the orange groves when I had just been born. So we had 2 orange trees, a tangerine, 2 tangerines, and a grapefruit in my backyard. So I've always been around citrus.
Used to eat tangerines when I was growing up until I got sick. They're so good. The wild ones. Yeah.
When I got a little bit older, like 3rd, 4th grade, you get out there and start throwing them at each other.
Yeah.
You get caught wasting good oranges.
Yeah. Somebody's getting their feelings hurt.
Yeah. Grounded.
For sure.
The backside's tan.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a lot that goes into making orange juice. I've been out of there.
To keep those trees healthy is ridiculously difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult.
Producing in that manner.
Well, and they moved south because of the cold, and this is my personal opinion. From my experiences, is that it's too hot too much of the time. There's just not enough cooling hours, and those trees there's some very, very, very good growers
down south.
Yeah, a lot of them are getting older now, but I would say, I think IMG is doing a good job. Noble Citrus is doing a lot of really cool stuff. But the best grower I've ever seen is Clint Updike. That man is.
I remember you mentioning him.
Yeah, he is. He's the real deal.
I don't remember what was said, but I remember the name.
Yep. Yeah, you can check him out on LinkedIn. He knows what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing on other social platforms, social media, because I don't have them. But I see him on LinkedIn, and he shares a lot of things, a lot of good knowledge, good follow. He shares things, and he's got a good way of explaining them.
We definitely have the largest. Do we still have the largest citrus? No, it's California.
I think it's going to depend on what you're talking about, juice or fruit, or juice or fresh.
Somebody told me recently we have more cattle in Texas, and I just laughed. Yeah. Is that a factual thing, or?
I believe so.
Texas is literally 7 of our states in diameter.
I think it fluctuates, but I know that we should definitely be in the top 5. I'm just hesitant to say because I know that it changes. So
for sure, but when you
and I think you can get into specifics too, like what kind of cattle are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, we're definitely one of the top cattle producing states for sure.
Which is crazy to think about coming from Florida. You wouldn't think that.
Yeah. One thing I love about in Florida, especially like when you're on I-10 and things, is just seeing and hearing the bull haulers.
The bull
haulers hauling cattle trailers on the interstate.
That clanking.
No, that motor, that those big motors screaming down the highway. I love it. It's good stuff.
I'm usually going too fast to
Oh yeah.
pay attention to something like that.
Okay.
We don't see too many of those down here in Central Florida
Yeah, I mean, well,
because I-10 is up north.
yeah, but there's huge ranches in South Florida.
Yeah, but I'm a small person. I don't get to touch the big properties
Yeah.
where these cattle are constantly coming in and out.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more about your experiences with agriculture and how, I wanted to touch on how welding ties into that.
Ties into it because I know how to weld now. So the farms and ranches that I do know me, they've all asked me to come do something welding related instead of doing it themselves now. It doesn't happen often, but
if you weren't, if you didn't have that skill, you wouldn't be getting the phone call.
Very valid. It's usually a rush thing. Something broke.
Everything in farming's a rush.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get a call. I'm on the spring kayaking, relaxing, and my buddy's equipment broke. Ben was there.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, it was one of the pieces of equipment they have for the mulching now.
They do compost, right? Something like that.
Mulch.
Soil amendments, I think is what they call it or something.
Do they?
I think so.
I know they do mulch. I don't know anything about the soil.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to have him on here because I think they have 4 or 5 different types that they're putting out that they mix, and there's different.
You definitely need to get Ben here. I don't think Colby would come on, but that man is knowledgeable and one of the hardest working people on. He doesn't. I mean, just like you, anybody that I work with, when season's in, it's 24/7. Except for he does it for himself. It can be difficult to work that consistent when it's for yourself.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
not somebody else expecting something.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting thing about farming and agriculture is that a lot of it is there's a lot of solitary work. You're alone a lot of the time, but so many people rely on that work getting done. I think it's an interesting, I don't know what the right word is there. I don't know if dichotomy is the right way to describe it, but it's interesting that you can, the farmers spend a lot of time alone in a tractor cab or mending fences or whatever it is that they're doing. But, there's millions and millions of people that depend on that work getting done. Like there's a famous Chris Ledoux song, "You Can't See Him from the Road." About it's about all the work that's getting done, the cowboys and everything that's going on, and just because you can't see it from the road. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't work for Stardust Ranch, I'm as an employee, but living out there, and they're my friends. Anytime I helped them out frequently, gladly, love it. If it wasn't for agricultural, I would not be where I am with welding. I confidently can say that because I got out of welding school and hadn't lined an official in the field job. I worked at a fab shop, but it's not the type of welding you need to be practicing for what I was gunning for. And Colby spliced into his 220, put my own female plug in, let me set up a welding booth, brought my own welder. They let me sit out there 10, 11 in the morning till 2:30, 3 in the morning. All summer, that summer, I was out there almost daily putting in the grind. I was nervous to lose that skill.
That's cool that they did that, though.
Oh,
that's really cool.
I thank them every time I see them for that because it dramatically helped me stay focused and not screw around, too.
It's true. Keep you out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do over at the Stardust Ranch? They just run cattle?
They lease that property now. They recently, in the past few years, sold, I want to say 80 to 88 acres, which is very disappointing because that section of the ranch, nobody can build up to it. It's all state forest. So it's secluded, grandfathered in.
Is it on the northeast side of town?
98 to Citrus Way, Lecanto Highway,
Okay.
491.
Gotcha.
You know where I'm at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then 2 miles, 2.5 miles down, it's all woods on your right side.
Yeah.
And then you just come across this massive hayfield with granddaddy oaks.
I'm laughing because this is what everybody makes fun about asking directions in the South.
Yeah. Go to the woodline ends. When you see that white fence, follow that to the red fence, and then that big oak tree, you'll see you can't miss the big oak tree. There's oak trees everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was trying not to laugh. I couldn't hold it in. That's all I was thinking about. It's so true though.
That is funny because when people tell me street names and numbers, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
No. Go 3 blocks, turn left at the yellow building.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. Tell us about your time working here at Main Street Eatery.
Miss Peggy disliked me when I was younger.
For the record, Miss Peggy was telling me everything that this gentleman did when he was in high school, raising hell, coming in here. So sorry to interrupt. I just want to add that.
My best friend at the time and I would sit at the bar, and we would only sit at the bar because it was the quickest way to be served so we can get in and out and go back to skateboarding. But Ms. Peggy used to have a jar of toothpicks with the little vibrantly colored tassels on them. So it's like a dart.
Yeah.
And when her staff and her were turned around not looking, we'd point a straw straight up and shoot him into the what is that ceiling called?
Ceiling tiles.
The ceiling tiles, the drop ceiling. And Tyler and I had hundreds in above the bar. And Miss Peggy just told him, she's like, he came in one day, and it's probably been about a decade, but it was also a decade after I had originally done this.
Yeah, but y'all had been doing it for 10 years, right?
It was like 4 years for,
That's a long time.
8th grade through 10th grade, 11th. Well, she kicked us out. We were banned for about a year and a half.
Weird.
So,
that's real weird.
No clue why. But about a decade ago, they were still in the ceiling. Either she didn't care or she didn't notice. And I'm very close with Miss Peggy, so this time I could joke with her. And I was like, you ever look above the bar in the register? And she's like, what are you talking about? Why? Why would I? And I was like, and she looked up and her face went red. And she almost didn't know how to. I've never heard Miss Peggy cuss. I take that back. I have a couple times, but
before that,
no.
All right.
She was livid, and then couldn't help but laugh. But I got away with it for a decade.
Yeah. But so, you spent how long did you work here for?
I've worked off and on since late high school.
Yeah. She
likes how I handle the back in the kitchen, and I work hard, diligently. But since I don't know what.
Oh, the other thing we were talking about, sorry to interrupt. The other thing we were talking about when we walked in here is Peggy asked me if I was a Main Street Eatery kid or a Farmer John's kid.
I asked you that.
Oh, you asked me that. I'm sorry. But so to that point, that was when we were in high school. It was
a great breakfast joint.
That's a good way to put it. Yes.
The older classmen would skip school and go eat at Farmer John's.
We just adjusted our school schedule to go eat breakfast.
I never did.
Yeah. So, but that's where I was at. So yeah, Will and I went to high school together. Well, I should say high school. We got middle school together too.
No.
Where'd you go? Oh, you were over on the other coast.
Yeah. By the time I moved into middle school, you were in 9th grade already.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we went to high school together, Fernando High, just down the street from here.
I almost wanted to say go Leopards, but I was never into the spirit pride stuff. Especially after getting kicked out of soccer.
You got kicked out of soccer?
I'm not going to go down that road.
That's fair. Okay. That's fine.
There's a reason why your senior year, y'all were the only ones allowed with lunch leaves.
Well, so every year, so we were the only ones who ever had them as freshmen. So when I was a freshman, they gave us lunch leave passes.
The whole year?
The whole year.
What?
Yeah. And we were so well behaved that they took them away from freshmen. And then when we went to 10th grade, after we went through 10th grade,
You were so well behaved, so they took them away?
That was sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
They did it again because we got even
Rowdier.
Yeah, more creative. And then when we became juniors, they took them away from juniors.
That's because
in the middle of senior year, they took them away altogether.
That was because of Tyler and I.
Well, I know, but I'm saying it was a team effort. But I'm saying like when we went through there, trust me.
I mean, I'm sure that all the classes caused mayhem with that, but I'm not going to mention his name, but Tyler's older cousin. I hung out with seniors and juniors when I was in 9th grade.
Yeah.
And by the end of the first 9 weeks, all my older classmen friends were like, yo, you're coming out to lunch with us.
Hop in the back of the truck.
So, yeah, but sneaking out of a small town school when your best friend's dad is the assistant principal and most of the teachers know my parents, sneaking out wasn't easy. So,
well, I mean, let's be honest. We're old enough now. I think that we thought we were sneaking out, but there was nothing sneaky about.
Oh, I never got in trouble. And had I got in trouble, my parents would have known.
Yeah, no, but I don't think we were sneaky as we thought we were.
No, obviously not. Well, we were until you go excess when things are going well at that age.
Yeah, well, the thing for me is I was the first person in my grade to turn 16 and get a driver's license.
I was too.
Everybody wanted me to pick them up.
Yeah, my dad wasn't having that.
I mean, it was fun.
He had my truck on lockdown half the time.
Yeah.
No, but Tyler and I made mine, and like 3 weeks into me having one, all my 9th grade friends.
Wait. So you made yourself a lunch leave pass?
Yeah, we forged
I
it.
think we need to highlight that. So that's how okay, I get what you're saying.
That's why I was saying it was because of us.
I was saying like they gave us the lunch passes and they took them away because we could not behave like when we had them properly given to us.
Your junior year, there's a reason why I went missing for 3 months after Christmas. Wow. Tyler and I got a month of SS and 2 months ISS.
2 months of ISS?
And
I can only imagine.
I would come to school with a stack of underclassmen IDs. We were taking it, and back then it was the photo, paste, and copy.
Yeah.
We would
laminate it?
We wouldn't laminate it. We bought photo paper.
Oh my
We bought photo paper with double-sided tape and put it on the back.
I remember those
on
now.
The back of your original ID. That way, when you were at the lunchroom or the library, you could still use it. You just couldn't show the other side.
I think Ben showed it to me one day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came back from Taco Bell with the soccer team one day, and there was kind of a murmur, panic amongst the school, and I didn't even notice. And I was going to my junior, senior gym class in the old gym because I had driver's ed. So I chose to take driver's ed because I was older. So it flipped my entire freshman schedule into
Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Brooks.
Yes. He was nice.
He was good.
But I walked into the old gym, and the dude in the dude's house, the dude with the house that we were doing this at, pulled me aside immediately and filled me in and threatened to beat me up if I ratted him out. And about 5 seconds later, Officer Pope walked into the gym.
Oh, I thought about him yesterday.
Across the gym, Mr. Gregg, come here. And I know Officer Pope personally.
The
and he
fastest
knows,
man to ever walk the face of the earth.
Insanely fast at running. Oh my God. I remember that one time he ditched the golf cart and just left it going and just caught up to the kid.
And we were so happy because we got to watch him chase somebody.
Yeah. But he pulled me into the locker room and was like, I already know it's you. Like, you've already been ratted out. I mean, I had a stack. So it was either lie to him and then have him hate me because I know him personally, and then have my parents find out that I lied. And then at the time, my grandmother's best friend, Miss Pageant, was our principal. So I got them. They're in my locker. put me in handcuffs and walked me to the front office. And
Bummer.
walking in the back door of that, there's 50 people that I had given lunch leaves to already. Oh, yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for that. That essentially is why I got kicked off soccer.
I got you. I think I remember that now.
Yep.
That was a pretty big deal.
It was, never lived it down.
All right. Well, I think that's a good note to end on. It's pretty good storytelling. So just want to say thanks again to Peggy for loaning us the back of Main Street Eatery. And hopefully, I think she said she'd probably come on and do an episode pretty soon, huh?
Did she?
I think she did.
She would love to.
If not, we're going to tell her that we said that on the episode, so she has to do one.
I'll get her in.
No, I think she'll do it. But no, seriously, thank you to her for, supporting agriculture, selling good food in Brooksville. And thanks for you taking the time to come do a podcast, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you all sincerely for connecting Field and Fork with us today on Farm Strong. Never forget that every day is your God-given opportunity to change the world. Please let us know your questions or guest suggestions at farmstrongpodcast@gmail.com. A special thanks is due to Casey Brown with Teal Hat Communications for producing this podcast. More importantly, we want to thank you for investing your time in this podcast and taking the time to connect to the agriculture industry. This is a Farm Strong podcast. Work hard, be honest, speak proudly.